Well, good morning and welcome back to the Daily Bible Chapter. It is April the 8th of 2022, and today we're reading Joshua chapter 3 from the New King James Version. And Joshua chapter 3 talks about Israel crosses the Jordan. So let's get into it. Then Joshua rose early in the morning, and they set out from Acacia Grove and came to the Jordan, he and all the children of Israel, and lodged there before they crossed over. So it was, after 3 days, that the officers went through the camp, and they commanded the people, saying, When you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, and the priests, the Levites, bearing it, then you shall set out from your place and go after it. Yet there shall be a space between you and it, about 2,000 cubits by measure. Do not come near it, that you may know the way by which you must go, for you have not passed this way before. And Joshua said to the people, Sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. Then Joshua spoke to the priests, saying, Take up the ark of the covenant and cross over before the people. So they took up the ark of the covenant and went before the people. And the Lord said to Joshua, This day I will begin to exalt you in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that, as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. You shall command the priests who bear the ark of the covenant, saying, When you have come to the edge of the water of the Jordan, you shall stand in the Jordan. So Joshua said to the children of Israel, Come here, and hear the words of the Lord your God. And Joshua said, By this you shall know that the living God is among you, and that he will without fail drive out from before you the Canaanites and the Hittites, and the Hivites and the Perizzites, and the Girgashites and the Amorites, and the Jebusites. Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth is crossing over before you into the Jordan. Now therefore, take for yourselves 12 men from the tribes of Israel, 1 man from every tribe. And it shall come to pass, as soon as the soles of the feet of the priests who bear the ark of the Lord of all the earth, shall rest in the waters of the Jordan, that the waters of the Jordan shall be cut off, the waters that come down from upstream, and they shall stand as a heap. So it was, when the people set out from their camp to cross over the Jordan, with the priests bearing the ark of the covenant before the people, and as those who bore the ark came to the Jordan, and the feet of the priest who bore the ark dipped in the edge of the water, for the Jordan overflows all its banks during the whole time of harvest, that the waters which came down from upstream stood still, and rose in a heap very far away, at Adam, the city that is beside Zeratan. So the waters that went down into the sea of Arabah, the salt sea, failed and were cut off, and the people crossed over opposite Jericho. Then the priest who bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the midst of the Jordan, and all Israel crossed over on dry ground, until all the people had crossed completely over the Jordan. Joshua chapter 3. And I don't know about you, but I couldn't help but think that not long after Moses began to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, he led them across the Red Sea. Was it the Red Sea or the? Now I'm not sure if I got that one right or not, but anyway, he led them, through the Red Sea, and they walked across on dry land. Sorry, you know how sometimes you say something and you're like, man, that just doesn't sound right to me. Anyway, I digress. But anyway, he led them on dry ground through the water, right? Well, on dry ground where should have been water. And now we have Joshua, who has now taken over the leadership, if you will, of the Israelites. And he also is going to lead them through a body of water on dry ground. And I often think, I remember reading this a long time ago and thinking, in many ways, this is, almost as amazing as, parting the Red Sea, because, the water flows and, it's flowing out of its banks during this time of the year, and yet God has cut it off. And it's not the first time he's done that, but many of these people would not have known that, because that generation that crossed originally had to go through the wilderness and died out because their faith wasn't strong enough. And so now these people are getting that same, almost that same experience. So hopefully all that made sense, but that's what I was thinking about when I was reading through that chapter. To me, that was interesting. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's chapter, Joshua chapter 3, and I hope you will join me tomorrow for Joshua chapter 4. Have a great day.